Liberty and Stetson met twice during the regular season, with each team winning a game. Tonight, they meet yet again with so much more on the line. It's the ASUN Championship semifinal on ESPN+. And with that, we welcome you courtside in the Vine Center alongside former Liberty player and assistant coach Paul Nazigan. I'm Matt Warner. Great matchup tonight. And Naz, let's start with Stetson, a team that was picked to finish last in the conference. They end up tied for third. At one point, they were 9-3 in ASUN play before stumbling down the stretch, dropping their last 4 regular season games. Who's the real Stetson, as the 9-3 squad, or the team that kind of stubbed their toe at the end of the regular season?
That's the real team. That's what you get, Matt. Welcome to the season with 6 freshmen, 4 sophomores. You're going to get those ups and downs. But listen, when they were 9-3, they were legit. They're a good team. They've got good players. But as often happens with youngsters, you get down late in that season, you hit a little bit of a wall, which they did. Yeah. But as they come into this game tonight, Coach Jones feels great about his group. He loves these guys. They're working hard. He says they're loose. All the pressure's on Liberty. I look for a good outing from them.
Yeah, Liberty struggled a bit in their win over NJIT in the quarterfinal on Tuesday, especially offensively. What do they need to do to get back on track?
Well, you let the game come to you. Listen, I know they have high expectations, but what you don't want to do is start forcing offense, especially tonight. You're going to see a Stetson team that likes to change the defenses. So you got to be patient, recognize what they're giving you, and then attack.
Take a look at the impact players tonight, presented by Foster Fuels, and we begin with a freshman phenom, Rob Perry.
Yeah, Rob Perry, the newly crowned freshman of the year in the ASUN. What a great season. He was 3rd in scoring in the conference, actually 11th in the nation when it comes to all freshmen in scoring. Look, his numbers are great. His accolades are well-deserved, but he's going to need a huge game tonight in the Vine Center.
And for the Flames, it's an ASUN Player of the Year, Caleb Homesley.
Yeah, Holmes, we've been talking about him all year. He finished the deal. Man, he's been playing like a man on a mission, and that mission was not to be Player of the Year. Yeah. It was to make a championship run and get back to the tourney. Great numbers. Listen, when these two teams met a couple weeks ago, Caleb had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. I look for an equal or better outing from him tonight.
It's a veteran group for Liberty. With more on one of those veterans, we check in with Emily Austin.
Yeah, Matt, Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz became Liberty's all-time winningest players back on December 21st when he notched his 86th victory with the Flames. Well, on Tuesday night, he hit that triple-digit milestone with 100 wins. You know, Pacheco is one of the main reasons for this Flames success in the last few seasons, especially in late-game situations. It's almost a guarantee that you see the ball in his hands because of his ability to handle those pressure-packed moments. Georgie said that that's from just experience and playing with the Puerto Rican national team and being in so many close and tough games here at Liberty. Guys, remember last year it was Georgie Pacheco who hit that monster shot that was arguably the biggest shot of the tournament in the championship game. So safe to say he's pretty clutch.
Yeah, arguably the biggest shot in Flames history he hit in that championship game over Lipscomb last year. Take a look at the head coaches, Donnie Jones. What a job he's done in his first season with the Hatters, reviving this program and really setting them up for the future as well with so much young talent. And on the other side is the co-ASUN Coach of the Year, Richie McKay, in his 7th overall season with the Flames. He was a National Coach of the Year a season ago and has kept this thing moving for the Flames in the right direction here this season. Teams are on the court. Officials are about ready. Folks still filing into the Vine Center. Should be a great atmosphere tonight in this ASUN Championship semifinal. Jawara, Scotty James there to jump center. Here we go, 40 minutes from an ASUN Championship game appearance. Flames control it. They defeated the Hatters. It's a little less than 2 weeks ago. 77-49 on this very court. Darius McGee gives it out to Georgie Pacheco. Driving in the lane, a little hesitation, leaning in, taking some contact, no whistle, and here comes Stetson the other way. Starting 5 looks like this. Jones, Perry, Aninye, who had a monster game in their quarterfinal win. Jawara and Kabimba round out the starting 5 for the Hatters. Again, a lot of youth, as Naz mentioned. Here's Rob Perry, deep 3 on the way. That's off the mark. And James pulls the rebound. Here's Liberty starting 5. Flames have grown accustomed to seeing these guys out there. A veteran bunch. And they have certainly lived up to the preseason expectations. 28-4 right now. They finished 13-3 in conference play. Elijah Cuffey off the mark with the 3. Flames like to get him going tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if that was tipped a little bit, but one thing I noticed, Matt, is they've got Aninye right buckle to buckle with Caleb Homesley. So everybody else is playing true man-to-man, but they've got him really tight shading Caleb, chasing him everywhere.
Well, we've seen them do that with Darius McGee at times in those previous 2 matchups as well, so they're not afraid to do it.
Yeah, and I mentioned, Caleb had such a big game against Stetson here a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure they don't want to try to keep him limited for as long as they can.
And Inye with the basketball, coming off a career-high 21 points against North Alabama. Stetson defeated UNA 82-72 in that ASUN Championship quarterfinal a couple of days ago. The big fella couldn't finish inside the offensive rebound, and they're going to get the Flames on a foul. And down on the deck is Georgie Pacheco.
Yeah, I don't know what. Georgie tried to come around the low side.
Jones got the rebound. Georgie kind of collapsed to the floor, and he's still in a lot of pain.
Yeah, they may want to. I don't know if it's for just Georgie's injury, or they may want to go take a look at this. I didn't see anything.
They are going to head to the monitor.
Purposeful, but you had what looked like a forearm to the head area, which is certainly worth a look.
Got that elbow right to the mouth.
Yeah, and then
it's hard to tell from that angle if there was a little push off at the end of that as well. It's so hard to tell. Of course, we can slow it down like this, but when it's full game speed, slow motion, it looks worse than it probably was. But we've seen some calls this year, as you and I thought, you know what, that's just in game action, just part of the play. And they've come and said, no, we're going to call that a flagrant. So we'll see what the officials.
So I'm not going to say what I think.
Yeah, don't make a prediction.
No, but
these officials trying to sort it out right now. Take a look at it full speed. Full speed, it doesn't look like a lot.
No, and so it looks like both guys are, eyes are up, hands are going for the ball. Georgie kind of came under him a little bit there.
Looks like he may have split a lip as trainer Aaron Schreiner tends to him. That's where he caught it right in the chops. And then I think the real question was just on the end of that. Do they deem that little arm
extension of the arm a shove down? But the elbow was certainly inadvertent to the lip there. And
not even a point on the board, and the official is already having to make an important call. We'll see if they come. Let us know the decision.
I don't think it met any of those 3 criteria.
Common foul is the call on the floor, and I think that's the right call.
Yes.
So the foul going against Georgie Pacheco as he checks out. Now Baxter Bell coming in.
Get some ice on Georgie's lip. I'm sure we'll see him momentarily.
And Inye directing traffic. Waving off Jawara, the big fella. In the hands of Rob Perry now beyond the arc. 5 on the shot clock. Great touch pass into Jawara, who lays it in.
Yeah, that's a nice little play because Kabimba can go high for the catch. And as you mentioned, man, nice little touch pass between the big guys.
Baxter Bell nearly had it swatted out of his hand. Now I'll put it on the deck. Rises up, soft touch, up and over Kabimba. The Flames really struggled to score it in their last ball game, winning just 55-49 against NJIT. Kabimba launching the 3. That's well short. Here come the Flames. Look at Baxter Bell trying to get out and go. The spin move, and it's denied. The big fella put on the spin move, but had it swatted off the backboard.
I think that was Christian Jones trailing for the block.
These two teams can play some defense. You think back to that very first meeting between the two, a low-scoring affair. 48-43. Stetson won that game. Fewest points the Flames have scored all year long. And look at that, Kenny and Inye picking right up where he left off against North Alabama.
Yeah, throughout the season, Stetson has had a lot of those. I mean, of course, Rob Perry was pretty steady, but other guys have had big nights.
Homesley driving in, no, fight for the rebound. Scotty James chases it down. Into the corner. Now they give it to Homesley. Wing triple on the way. Bang! If the Flames get him going, there are not many teams that can beat them.
Yeah, and we're going to have to watch because one of the things Stetson will do is play that matchup zone that gets extended. And last time, Caleb had a field day getting into the high post there and scoring.
Perry trying to turn the corner, cut off. Jones using the Jawara screen. High off the window, and it goes down. Chris Jones, one of the veterans, a junior out of Columbia, South Carolina, averaging just over 10 a ball game.
And I think he's at his best, slashing off the dribble. Nice move right there, all the way to the rim.
And Elijah Cuffey threw that one away. That'll get us to a timeout. I want to remind you, this presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Foster Fuels, exceeding expectations since 1921. And by Carter Bank and Trust, proud of the past, focused on the future.
Welcome back to the ASUN semifinals between Liberty and Stetson. You know, this Stetson roster might be loaded with freshmen, but this team feels like not only do they belong here, but they deserve to be here. We spoke with Stetson head coach Donnie Jones at shoot-around this morning, and he said that his team, they've showed they've done it at times. We went on the road and beat South Carolina. We beat Liberty at our place. We've had some moments for our program that they've never had that prove that they can play at any level, any given night. But it doesn't have to be 7 games. It just has to be tonight. But that was the beginning of the season that they had those big wins, guys. They've been a little inconsistent to close out the regular season.
Yeah, that's for sure. As we take a look at our keys to the game here momentarily. As you breaking this one down, how do you see this? The third meeting between these two programs.
Yeah, for Stetson, try to get some easy points. You know, they were hard to come by in both outings, but try to get to the free throw line, maybe get some transition points or steals, and then defend the paint. Now that may be defending Scotty James down low. It might be defending Caleb Homesley in the high post. If you're Liberty, guard the dribble, man. A couple times possessions ago, we saw Christian Jones get all the way to the rim. Liberty's got to defend the dribble and then be ready for changing defenses. Stetson loves, they'll go full court pressure, they'll go matchup zone, and then also man-to-man.
Yeah, that's right. As Caleb Homesley ties it up at 7-0. And as you mentioned your impact players earlier, I'll say there's 3 more out there, and they're the guys wearing stripes.
Yes.
Remember the last time these teams played, Mohamedou Jawara fouled out with 14 minutes left in the game. He's had a lot of foul trouble this season. If they can keep him on the court, that'll be key as well. Yeah,
he's such an effective player, even for such a young guy, freshman. We mentioned his great footwork, but the other night, Tuesday night, they really let him bang around in there.
Scotty James gets called for steps, so he turns it over as we take a look at that Caleb Homesley bucket a moment ago.
I mentioned Caleb has been so effective there. He'll get those 8, 10 footers out of the high post tonight.
Bimba chases it down. In the hands of Rob Perry. Perry struggled in the last meeting between these two.
Yeah, came off the bench. I really thought that sort of knocked him out of his rhythm.
It knocked that whole team into a little bit of a funk.
It really
Coach's
did.
decision kept him out of the starting lineup last time they met. We're going to get tie up here? Yes, sir. Darius McGee getting those hands in there and tying it up with 1 on the shot clock. Possession arrow points the way of the Hatters. So they will keep it.
Again, you got to watch anything coming toward the basket. Jawara, Kabimba. You got to pressure the inbounder so he doesn't get a free look for a lob.
Get it out, Kabimba. Missed everything. Shot clock violation.
And that was a great job by Liberty. Make him get something going away. They can make Kabimba kind of shoot a quick rush 17-footer.
This Liberty program under Rich McKay has hung its hat on its defense. Second in the nation in scoring defense this season, trailing only Virginia. That's how they got the win on Tuesday night, was thanks to their defense, and it's been that way a lot this season. The offense has kind of been hit and miss. The defense has been the one consistent as we get a whistle underneath.
Yeah, they went to go a little screen and roll there.
They get Kabimba.
Yeah, Scotty was about to break free, so Kabimba on the hold.
First team foul on the Hatters as Reza Panzo checks in.
Panzer not as many minutes, but he's in that fabulous freshman class.
That's right. Backdoor cut, Homesley. That shot affected by the big fella coming through. That Jawara affects the game in so many ways.
Well, when you can affect Caleb Homesley's shot at the rim, that's saying something. And Caleb had to alter it just enough to get it over Jawara's hand.
Jawara now working on Mile Baxter-Bell. He has a height advantage. Bullies into him. No, gets the rebound. Couldn't finish the second attempt.
Wow, 2 good looks by Jawara. I just really like his footwork.
He is a polished freshman.
He really is. You can tell he's...
And whistle going against Panzo.
Away from the ball. I think they were trying to... He might have held Darius McGee as he was trying to come off the screen.
The Flames working on a 21-game win streak here in the Vine Center. They have been, well, they've been unbeatable this season at home. Nearly unbeatable the past 2 seasons. Homesley kicks it out. Mile Baxter-Bell going to launch the 3. That's well short. Perry comes the other way. Trying to weave through traffic. Now step back, quick 3 of his own. Can't connect, and Darius McGee rising up for the rebound.
Yeah, I really think Rob Perry wants to see that first one go down.
Yeah, he's kind of tailed off a little bit as well at the end of the season. Darius McGee launches. That's off the mark. Perry pulls the rebound. When he and Jawara are both playing well on the offensive end, that turns a good Stetson team into a scary Stetson team.
Yeah, that's a great 1-2 punch, and then you got some other guys that can certainly fill roles.
Raleigh has it, 10 on the shot clock. Looking for some help now. Gives it to Jones. Got to hoist one up. Pump fake. Get some space off the mark. Flames doing a pretty good job keeping their guards out of the lane.
Yeah, they really are. That was one of the keys. Guard the dribble. They've made him take rush shots sort of at the end of a couple shot clock possessions. So good job defensively, but I think Liberty kind of feels they're in that same quicksand from the other night offensively. They just can't seem to get it clicking.
Baxter-Bell working on Jawara. Goes in strong. Couldn't convert. The rebound coming to Stetson. Liberty hasn't scored in over 3.5 minutes. Stetson hasn't scored in over 4.5. These are the kind of games Liberty is used to, honestly, in some ways. But Stetson doesn't mind playing as well. They're second in the conference in scoring defense. The swat by Homesley. Jawara keeps it and lays it up and in. The kid has some poise.
He sure does.
So Stetson up by a bucket with 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Bunch of young guys that Donnie Jones was kind of saying they don't know what they don't know at this point. They're just playing ball.
Yeah, they said they feel loose. The pressure's not on them.
Homesley, tough shot. No, he hits the deck hard and is slow getting up as Stetson comes the other way.
Well, they're sure letting them play again tonight, Matt. We saw that Tuesday night, Liberty against NJIT. Not a lot of whistles. You want some of that. It's conference tournament time.
Perry driving baseline, shooting over McGee. He couldn't hit. Well, we're still in single digits here on both sides as we tick down towards 10 minutes to go.
We're used to these too.
Yeah, no kidding. Flames trying to find some sort of offensive flow. Darius McGee, see if he can break him out of it. Deep triple coming. That's off the mark. Liberty now 3 of 13 from the field. When they've gone to the basket, Jawara's kind of been there to affect it. And just like in that game against NJIT, they have not had the stroke from deep.
Yeah, they struggled the other night. Right now, 1 for 5 from beyond the arc.
And with every minute that passes, a Stetson team that got run off this court a couple of weeks ago feels a little more confident, a little more confident. Jawara fading away, missed it all. Good defense there by Baxter-Bell.
Yeah, Mayo, he was not going to be back down. If you can keep Jawara out at 10 feet, 8 feet, he is a lot less effective. He really wants to be in the paint.
There's a whistle going against Raleigh as he knocks Homesley to the ground. And that'll get us to a timeout. Well, if you're a fan of defense, has been the game for you. 9-7 with 9:13 to go in the first half. 9-7 ball game. Stetson on top. You may not believe it from what you've seen tonight, but there's a couple of good scoring freshmen on this Stetson team. We talked a little bit about them. Jawara, Perry, look at what they've done on the season. Two of the best in the conference. And Liberty got a first-hand look down at Stetson earlier this year. Jawara in that ball game ended up going for 15 points, 5 rebounds. Really showcased his entire arsenal. We mentioned foul trouble knocked him out of the game here a couple of weeks ago. But this is a big guy that can score it. We've already seen how he affects the game on the defense.
He's big, he's athletic. But again, for a guy so young, he's got great moves around the basket, great footwork, and hey, here's another thing, really soft hands, which is huge for big guys. So yeah, you put him and Perry together, when they're clicking, you can see why they started the conference season off 9-3.
Yeah, he's out of the game right now. The Flames try to take advantage of that. They go right into Scotty James, working on Kabimba, goes up with the right hand, left it short. Another good look as Kyle Rowe commits the foul. And Scotty James got to pull the string on it a little bit. You feel like this entire building, which is predominantly Flames fans, are all kind of sitting there saying to each other, when is this offense going to kind of get rolling? When are we going to see some shots go down? It has been...
And you can feel it. I mean, they're ready to get behind the team and support. It's been such a grind again.
Enzo scores up and over the top of Kyle Rowe. Let's check in with Emily Austin. Emily?
Guys, you can tell that Coach McKay's frustration is growing with Liberty's slow start offensively. When he came into that huddle, he looked at all of his players and he yelled, "Do you see we're not taking good shots? Do you see?" His players just slowly nodded.
Well, most shots that Caleb Homesley takes, you would consider good with the season he's had, and he has 7 points for Liberty, 7 of their 9. He's looking for some help.
Yeah. I mean, he knew Liberty needed a basket, and he stepped up. Nice defense right there by Scotty James to jump in the lane.
Scotty takes it away. It's in Darius McGee's hands now. Kicks to Kyle Rowe. Corner 3 in rhythm. Wow, that missed by a long shot. Stetson has it, leading by 2. Hatters shooting just 31%. Liberty shooting only 25. Kabimba, free throw line jumper goes down. Joel Kabimba, freshman out of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, averaged just over 5 points per ball game this year. Nearly stolen away as Christian Jones got a hand in there.
Georgia trying to let Scotty post up.
They give it to him here on the cut, and it's swatted out of his hands by Kabimba.
I think Kabimba was clean up high.
Well, Stetson with a 4-point advantage in the ball.
But, you know, that's been consistent for the game. The refs are letting them play.
Well, you just think Jawara's out. You got to free path to the rim, not so fast. Raleigh has it on the wing, back to Aninye. 6 on the shot clock. Tries to drive on Homesley. Kicks it out. I don't know if Raleigh realizes now Hoist at the last second. Off the mark, long rebound out to Panzo. And Richie McKay just sits down on that bench with a look of disgust.
Yeah, that is not how Liberty finishes defensive possessions.
Raleigh kicks to the corner. Panzo in rhythm 3. That goes down. And Stetson is feeling it here early. The confidence is rising for this young team.
It is. They're the majority way through this first half. Shots are falling. They're defending.
Homesley draws the foul. When you're at home, it's great when things are going well. When it's not, you feel the tension in this building. And Stetson's playing free and easy. They lead it by 7 with 6:15 to go in the first half. Stetson on top of Liberty with 6:15 to go in the first half. Of course, there's the other semifinal happening as we speak. Lipscomb trying to score an upset over North Florida. They lead it early 29-21. What a performance a couple nights ago by ASUN Championship. He went for 40 in their win. He's got 16 of their points so far tonight. So he is having an incredible postseason so far for Lipscomb. Meanwhile, both these teams just wanting to keep some offense going. Stetson's come alive the last couple of minutes.
And really, I mean, they're not shooting a great percentage either, but, man, I just checked the stats. I mean, they've got 4 offensive rebounds, leading to 7 second-chance points. So I mentioned, find other ways to score, find some easier points. They're doing it on the offensive glass.
Right now, if it's not Caleb Homesley taking the shot, there doesn't seem to be a lot of guys out there with a lot of confidence for the Flames. Panzo, basketball. Yeah, Liberty being out-rebounded by 8 right now in this ball game. Stetson with a chance to further stretch the lead. Aninye driving, going up and through Darius McGee.
Yeah, I mentioned guarding the dribble. Again, this is not a team that loves to shoot threes. They got athletic guys that love to go off the bounce. That time it was Aninye.
Stetson looks like the 1 seed playing with all the confidence right now.
Yeah, they sure have the momentum. They got the confidence.
Pacheco picks up his dribble, has to force one up. He misses in the lane. What do you do? Richie McKay's kind of standing on the sideline thinking the same thing.
Yeah. What you do is you got to get the defense to lock up, and you try to get yourself into halftime without any more damage.
I get that, but 9 points is 9 points.
Yeah,
I mean you've held them to 18. Most of the time you would take that at this stage of the ballgame. Perry kicks it to the corner. Panzo going to drive, sweeping through. He couldn't convert.
Yeah, no, I mean, Matt, they escaped there. Again, another off the dribble situation where Panzo gets right to the rim.
Baxter Bell going to bring the ball up, try to get him into their offense. Hands off to Homesley, and Aninye on him. He's going to drive and kick. Shiloh Robinson going to try another 3, and it goes down.
Well, how about that for confidence in the freshman?
Missed one a moment ago. The freshman out of Kearney averages less than 3 points a ball game. No hesitation.
Not playing a lot of minutes. Big time moment. Needed a basket. He did not hesitate. Great shot by Shiloh Robinson.
That starts to wake up this crowd just a bit. Raleigh splits 2 defenders, hangs, and gets it to go. Big time play from Jaleel Raleigh. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, Matt, the pack line looks out of sorts tonight.
Feed inside to Homesley, lays it in with the left hand. Good feed from Shiloh Robinson. He's been a spark. Right
on the money. Caleb, great seal down inside. Shiloh put it right on his fingertips for the finish.
6-point ball game. Rob Perry well beyond the arc. He will hoist it from deep. That's kind of that set shot, a little unorthodox.
Yeah, but you always got to be ready.
There it is, right there.
You don't even think he's going to pull it. So they get the stop they needed. Let's see if they continue this hot streak. Back-to-back baskets.
That's not it. A poor turnover there, gives it right back. Well, the Flames showing some signs of life offensively. The kid from Kearney, Shiloh Robinson, knocked down the triple. We got a 6-point ball game. 2014, Stetson on top of the Flames here. Late stages of the first half. You looked at who's going to kind of step up offensively for Liberty. Scotty James is one that can certainly do it. First team All ASUN, but he has been held scoreless so far tonight. 0 of 2 from the field. Ian Stetson this year averaging 10.5 per ball game. The worry, though, Jawara certainly has the size advantage. And at times, a size like that can give Scotty a little bit of problem.
Yeah, but, Scotty's done it all year against tough competition. I'd get him some touches in there. Caleb Homesley's going to need some help. And you got to have a balanced attack or else that pressure can start tightening out there beyond the arc. I'd get Scotty some touches and let him go to work.
The other thing, Jawara has not picked up a foul, and they're leaving him over there on the bench. Right now,
no free throws have been shot.
Right.
So they're letting those guys get physical in there.
This is playing out just the way Stetson hoped it would. Perry lobs inside, great feed. Kabiba couldn't convert. Ball batted around before Scotty James finally corrals it.
Wow, it was a great pass by Perry. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Flames have their starting 5 back out there. Pacheco handling the basketball. In the hands of Elijah Cuffey now. Darius McGee catches, fires, and it goes down. The three ball brings this Vine Center crowd to its feet.
Big time shot by Darius McGee.
He had 12 points in each of the two meetings against Stetson. He had 12 in the first half against them down there. Flames would like to see him heat up.
Coach McKay wants to see this defense really lock in and perform like it's used to doing.
Ninye gives it to Raleigh. He'll fire the three. Can he answer? Yes. Jaleel Raleigh has it go down. He had success in this building a couple weeks back, scoring 12 against the Flames, and he has 5 early points tonight.
And that's bonus because, again, Stetson they don't rely heavily.
Great cut on the bucket in the foul. Caleb Homesley is trying to will his team back in front.
Well, if anybody can do it, it's him. He's been the one guy that's just had the mindset to attack. Great move right there. Nice pass by Scotty James. Big finish and the foul.
ASUN Player of the Year, 11 points. Going to the free throw line now as Liberty suddenly made its last 4 shots from the field. That foul going on Ninye. That's number 2 on him. As Jawara is checked back in for Stetson. Free throw rattles out. Yeah, first free throw of the ball game for either team.
Yeah.
4-point game, under a minute and a half to go here in half number 1 of this ASUN Conference semifinal. Jones feeding the post. Jawara passes it into the second row. Rob Perry looking at him, kind of putting those hands on there like, just calm it down a little bit, big fella.
Yeah. Jawara saw the double team coming. He wanted to get rid of it quicker, but got out of his hands. Liberty gets the turnover. Let's see if they can convert.
Scotty James, gonna see if he can try to pull Jawara away from the hoop a little bit.
No, Jawara has stayed way down in there because they didn't want to let Caleb Homesley post up Raleigh.
George Pacheco working on Jones, now trying to feed the post. Scotty James had it with Jawara on him.
Let's see if they clear out. Oh, good.
James had it knocked off of his leg. It goes out of bounds. Another turnover on the Flames.
Yeah, nice dive down by Christian Jones. Just to stick a big paw in there and get the deflection.
Perry with it. He's been one guy that hasn't really been able to get much going. Jones puts it on the deck. Jawara taking it from beyond the arc, driving in, spinning, going up and right over the top of Scotty James. Strong move for the freshman.
Yeah, and he does a nice job of having a little bit of contact, creating just enough room without getting an offensive foul.
Flames can hold for the last shot, trailing by 6. Pacheco holding it. Now calling for the screen.
I think they're content to do that. Just get to halftime and regroup.
Georgie kicks it out. McGee has an opportunity and he gets it to go. The three-pointer at the buzzer cuts that Stetson lead to 3 and gives the Flames some momentum heading to the locker room.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe even more important than the 3 points, Matt, is the feeling of seeing another shot go down, getting the crowd into it, and gaining some momentum.
Well, Darius McGee hit 2 threes in that first half. That was a big one. The Flames still trailing. Not many would have expected that. But some signs of life offensively as they head to the locker room, trailing Stetson by 3. Our Emily Austin standing by with Stetson's Donnie Jones.
Coach, you guys held Liberty to just 22 points in that first half. What do you guys need to continue doing to pull off this upset?
We got to continue to play defense. I think that's been a crucial part of it. We've had some opportunities down here, but we've had good patience. A little too many turnovers in the post. Their doubles have bothered us in the first half, but we got to calm down, take a breath, and relax in the second half.
Caleb Homesley with 11 points for Liberty. How do you slow him down better in the second half?
Well, we're trying. He's a good player. There's a reason he's player of the year. But we got to do a better job with our team instead of one individual in the second half.
All right. Thanks for your time, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Matt, back over to you.
Stetson leading by 3 over Liberty, trying to pull off an upset and make it to the ASUN Championship final. When we come back, first half stats and highlights. You're watching ASUN Basketball on ESPN+. Back at the Vine Center, halftime between Liberty and Stetson. The Hatters lead by 3 in this ASUN Championship semifinal. Paul Nazigan, Matt Warner here courtside. Naz, we knew these were the top 2 defenses in the conference. Did you expect the style of play you've seen so far tonight?
I expected Liberty, obviously, they like to play it slow. I kind of felt maybe Stetson would try to maybe speed it up a little bit, but you got to take what the game gives you. It takes on a tone of its own, and it's been another grind like we saw the other night.
They haven't needed to speed it up tonight. Take a look at those first half stats presented by Carter Bank and Trust. The offense is really struggling. A little run there at the end made it look respectable as far as the numbers are concerned. But the other key point you mentioned, Stetson leading in rebounding 19-12.
Yeah, in a half it had a lot of misses. Stetson won the glass battle. A bunch of offensive rebounds lead to 7 second chance points.
Yeah, Stetson would love to keep this game a slow grind like they had there in the first half. We'll have some of those first half highlights for you when we return in a moment. The 4-seed Stetson leading the top-seeded Liberty Flames 25-22 at the break. Back to the Vine Center in Lynchburg. And as we were saying, the way the Stetson team came out, the confidence they played with, they don't look like the 4-seed. They look like they came in as the favorite.
Yeah, and it's every bit true of what Coach Jones said about his group. He had a great feeling about them. He said they're loose, they're ready to play. They've come in here and just done exactly what they need to do. It's a great game plan.
Take a look at the first half highlights. For a while, we thought this might be a really short segment. Offense is really struggling. After the game, Baxter Bell got one to go down. You said, all right, the Liberty offense going. You see at the other end, and Ninye coming off a 21-point performance, hit a 3 as well.
Yeah, early on, it looked like everything was both teams kind of hitting, but then both teams kind of hit a wall.
Points in the paint, the big fellas for Stetson, Jawara, Kabimba, playing a big factor early on.
Yeah, Scotty not able to be effective, so Stetson is winning the paint, and that's a big part of the first half.
A couple of big threes late in that half for Liberty. Shiloh Robinson, and then at the buzzer, Darius McGee hit the 3 as well to make it a 3-point ball game. Try to get some momentum. How much that matters, I don't know, but they head into the locker room down just 3, and they'll see if they can right the ship in the second half. You're watching this ASUN Championship semifinal on ESPN+. Stetson halfway to an upset. They lead Liberty by 3 at the half. The other ASUN Championship semifinal game, they're also at the half. And Lipscomb trying to score an upset of their own, leading 42-33 over North Florida. Asana Sajala with 20 points, 8 rebounds at the break. He's looking for his second straight 40-point performance. Well, Game On is the exclusive TV program for all things Liberty athletics. Watch this weekly 30-minute show to get caught up on the highlights, hear from the coaches, and see inspirational feature stories about current Liberty athletes and alums. Check out Game On every week to stay connected to Flames athletics. The stories, the purpose, the Flames. Second half coming up. About set to start the second half in Lynchburg. Just a moment ago, our Emily Austin caught up with Liberty head coach Richie McKay.
Coach, you've talked a lot about how records don't matter in earning victories in this tournament. That being said, what was your message to the team at the half?
We just got to relax and play. We got to work for a good shot, and we've been a little bit hurried because we're behind in the game. And again, Stetson's a good team, so can't Mike Tyson this one. We got to continue to body blow, and stay in our lane.
Good shot to end the half, but the slow start offensively, is that more of your shot selection for your team or Stetson defense?
Probably a combination of both. We've had these woes before, though, but our defense has held us in, and we'll play better this half.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck. Matt, over to you.
Yeah, the good news for Stetson, they're leading. The better news, they're leading with Rob Perry not even scoring in the first half.
Yeah.
So you assume he's going to kind of figure things out at some point here tonight. And when he does, that could be great news for the Hatters.
Yeah, Stetson has a lot of things to be happy for. Jawara not in foul trouble, got a lot of rest in the first half.
They go right at him, and as you say it, Naz, Jawara picks up the foul, but just his first.
Yeah, just his first. And I like that Liberty went right to Scotty, and Scotty went right at Jawara. Maybe not so much to pick up a foul, but if they're going to let you bang, Scotty knows what he's doing down there, so good job getting himself to the free throw line.
Yeah, Scotty James scoreless on just 2 shot attempts in the first half. Free throw goes down.
Scotty's scorelessness and Perry's scorelessness kind of canceled each other out. just kind of interesting, you know, just how games just take on a feel and a tone. I really did think this was going to be a little more of an offensive flow, but
haven't seen it.
It is what it is, as they say.
Jones trying to drive.
Wow.
Going flying out of the way was Georgie Pacheco, and then Jawara lays it in. And they're going to flop warning, I believe, on Georgie. Well, there's definitely, you saw that off arm come up. How much contact it made, it was hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, Georgie's running full speed. So if you just bump somebody off their line, it can look a lot worse than it was. And
Huffy feeding a backdoor cutting McGee. Threw that one right off the hands of Scotty James. So here comes Stetson again. They have been under control. A lot of times you'll see this defense start to frustrate a team, and they've had a couple of poor possessions, but it seems like it's not frustrating.
Yes, it's not rattled them. Yeah, you're going to get a turnover or something, but they've regrouped themselves, and they really look like they know what they're doing. They're sticking with their game plan.
Perry trying to drive on Cuffy. Tough shot, Cuffy with the block. Here come the Flames. McGee hits the deck. Now Cuffy takes a little contact. They'll call the foul on the floor, wave off the shot. They're going to get a Ninye, and that's number 3 on the junior guard.
Yeah, 3 on a Ninye, but, you know, they've given him a tough assignment. All game so far, he has been just chest to chest with somebody. They started out just trying to really rattle Caleb Homesley. Then he's been chasing McGee around a little bit.
Now Baxter Bell checks in for Liberty as Scotty James has a seat. There's a feed to Cuffy, and he missed the layup. And commits the foul. This has been a nightmarish couple of weeks offensively for Elijah Cuffy. And this Flames offense hoping to kind of find their rhythm. They haven't been able to do it so far in the first minute and a half of the second half.
That's a shame because McGee made a nice pass. Cuff made a real great cut. Just didn't get the roll.
Raleigh has it on the wing. Christian Jones been pretty quiet in this ball game as well. Just 2 points. Kabimba looking in the post. Jawara gets it, working on Baxter Bell. It poked away and taken away by Darius McGee.
Great job by Caleb to come in the backside and poke that away.
McGee driving up, under, and finishes.
Smart play. He saw Jawara coming out of the corner of his eye. Floated to the other side with a little kiss off the glass.
This crowd now rising to its feet, trying to urge on the Liberty defense. Ten on the shot clock.
Looks like Raleigh's going to take it himself.
And the foul committed by McGee. Darius a moment ago avoiding the shot blocker for 2. He's got 8 points tonight. He and Homesley have combined for 19 of Liberty's 25. Raleigh to the line. First free throws of the night for Stetson. And he gets the first one to fall. Stetson in that win over North Alabama, they made 25 of 26 free throws. This is the worst shooting free throw team in the conference, but not on that night. They got it done at the line. 1 of 2 for Raleigh. 3-point ball game here in Lynchburg. Flames trailed by 3 at the break and had to scramble, scratch, and claw to do that. Cuffy going to try the 3, well short. The Hatters get in the hands of Kabimba in the corner. Now they go into Jawara. Spins baseline of Baxter Bell. Spins back the other way, out of control, losing his footing, hitting the deck. Here comes Liberty. Homesley driving, takes the contact, and he'll head to the free throw line. Bodies hitting the deck all over the floor.
Not a lot of whistles.
This is postseason basketball, Naz.
They're letting them bang. Obviously, you got to call that one. But it's a war out there. Every basket is just so hard to come by.
Homesley to the free throw line. 0 of 1 there so far today. Three-team fouls already here early on in the second half on the Hatters. So we'll see if the foul situation becomes a storyline down the stretch here. Homesley gets them both. This crowd, there have been some good crowds here in the Vine Center this year. This might be the most this crowd has realized we need to affect the game.
Yeah.
Raleigh handling the rock, being pressured by Darius McGee, calling for a screen. Ball loose on the deck. McGee getting his hands in there and ties it up.
Great job by Darius McGee. Raleigh tried to shake and bake him, but he was just not going to free himself of Darius McGee. Great defense.
So 10 on the shot clock. Stetson basketball. I think everybody in this building, Flames, #1 seed, favorite to win this conference. They're kind of feeling like, listen, we got to do our part here. That three-pointer off the mark. Kabimba, though, the offensive board and the lay-in. Or was there a whistle first?
I think there was a whistle on the floor.
We couldn't hear it, but they are going to get a foul on Mile Baxter-Bell.
Yeah, I think it was on Kabimba's rebound as he came down. So not in the act of shooting.
Baxter-Bell will sub out. Scotty James back in. Jawara out right now for Stetson. And you kind of feel like you got to take advantage of that when it happens. Tipped away by Cuffey. Ahead of the pack. Lays it in.
Great D by Cuff. Man, he just got a fingertip on that thing just to deflect it and get the run out.
And Liberty goes in front for the first time tonight.
And the crowd shows its appreciation. Liberty's feeding off their energy.
See if the Hatters find an answer on this possession. Jones trying to drive baseline, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Stetson, 8 on the shot clock. And it'll get us to the under 16 timeout. This Vine Center crowd has come alive. And it's Liberty's defense turning to offense, putting the Flames on top by 1. Back at the Vine Center, Liberty leading by 1. As you play all season long, trying to get home court advantage. The Flames did that, and it feels like in the last couple of minutes, this home crowd has really provided some energy and pushed this Flames.
Yeah, they really have. They've done a great job, and Liberty's feeding off that. But Liberty's gotten their stops. They've hit some shots. But I'm telling you, I think the difference has been Liberty's attitude. Man, they finally got a little bit pissed off.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You are in the semifinal of your conference championship. You got to get after it, and they have the last few minutes.
Under 16 to go. 5 on the shot clock. Not sure Raleigh's aware of it. Kicks to the corner. Quick 3 from Panzo. That almost banked in, and the Flames come down with the rebound.
Yeah, you can see they're getting a little bit salty out there. That's what you need. Nobody's going to give you a game, not at this point in the season.
Scotty James has the top of the key. Hands off to McGee. A little bit of air space. It closes quickly. Kicks out Cuffey. 3 ball. No, and the rebound comes to Raleigh. Cuffey had that layup a moment ago. Couldn't get the 3 to fall.
Cuff still getting good looks.
Hatters just 1 of 5 from the field to start things in the second half. Perry gives it to the corner. Raleigh, a 3 is up. Off the mark. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to go to Stetson. Scotty James grabbing his face like he got hit. Yeah. Like you said, Naz, it's just like, look the other way and let the big fellas sort it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a time for that.
Raked across the face there, it looked like, by Kabimba. This is just kind of a back alley brawl in the paint.
There's a man's world in there.
Right. And Inye back in there with the 3 fouls. Panzo driving, contact, offensive foul.
Wow, great job by Scotty. Saw he was out of control. just got hit in the face. He said, I don't care, I'm going to go in there.
Hit me somewhere else.
Hit in the chest. Big time stop. Laying his body out for the possession. Great hustle to get himself in position, too.
The Flames leading it by 1. Pacheco holds on the wing.
And you can see Aninye just chasing McGee everywhere.
James working on Kabimba. Draws the foul. But when Jawara is not in the ball game, there's no reason not to feed Scotty James and let him go to work.
That's right. And if they're not going to call it, let Scotty kind of bang into his defender and get the finish or the foul.
So 5 team fouls now on Stetson as Scotty James heads to the strike.
And that could be huge. You know, again, there were no whistles in that first half.
James hits the first. Just 2 points on the evening so far for the senior out of Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Yeah, if Liberty can get to the bonus, that'll be huge. And you see they're bringing Jawara back in now.
I think it's what's the old saying? This point in the year, you can rest in the offseason. We need you out there, big fella.
That's right.
As James gets them both to fall, Liberty pushes its lead to 3.
And now you go see what the freshmen are made of from Stetson. They played in front, now they're behind. But again, they've had great composure all night.
Aninye, one of the veterans on this team, gives it up. Rob Perry held scoreless so far tonight. Can they get him going? 6 on the shot clock. Aninye kicks out. Deep 3 from Jones. Off the mark. The rebound pulled by McGee.
Yeah, that time Scotty just completely sold out to blocking out Jawara. And McGee was able to come back and corral the rebound.
James has it now. It's out to George Pacheco. In rhythm 3 from Homesley. That goes down.
Wow, what a tough shot. Comes off a screen. Just gets his feet set, gets himself on balance.
Caleb Homesley screaming at this crowd, showing about as much emotion as you'll ever see from number 1.
I love it. That's what you want out of your captain, out of your leader.
He's got 16 tonight. Perry trying to force the issue. Maybe that's what he needs to do. The foul committed on the floor. There's that 3 a moment ago from Homesley. We have seen him in the last probably 3 weeks basically take this offense on his shoulders.
In his play, in his attitude, in his leadership. And Jawara and James are in there battling in the paint.
Perry gets the handoff, 7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're patient, running some clock.
Good feed inside. Jawara had it knocked away. They're calling for a goaltender. They're going to count it. Yep, they're going to count the basket. I think it was James that got a hand on it as it was in the cylinder. So count the bucket for Jawara, and he'll head to the line.
Stetson has done a real nice job of doing this screen and roll between Perry and Jawara. Perry's found him with some really great passes. Liberty's just a half a second late, kind of recovering.
And misses the free throw. McGee gives it to Scotty James, goes up strong and finishes through to Jawara.
McGee has made some big-time plays tonight. Hit a few threes, got himself that reverse layup, and at that time, great penetration to pass.
Scotty James held scoreless in the first half, has 5 so far here in the second.
Stetson's really comfortable running clock. They run these dribble exchanges and then try to get one good shot out of it each possession. And they've done a good job with that so far, with that philosophy.
Panzo trying to drive around Homesley. Couldn't finish. The rebound to Georgie Pacheco. And you feel like this defense now, we said before, it starts to kind of tighten its grip in the second half oftentimes.
Yeah, Liberty, I think, is really building their confidence, Matt, off of getting those stops and then hitting some shots at the other end.
There's a little runner from Homesley, in and out, follows his own miss and gets the roll.
One-handed tap in. You're seeing why Caleb Homesley is the player of the year in the ASUN Conference.
This is his world right now, Naz. 18 points for Caleb Homesley. The Flames up by 8. This building rocking as the Liberty Flames hope to move on to the ASUN Championship.
Welcome back to the Vine Center. It seems like the Flames are starting to take over this one over Stetson in the ASUN semifinals with an 8-point lead and 12 minutes to play. You know, Liberty and North Florida have been the talk of this conference as they're the only ones ranked. But Coach McKay reminded us that everyone in this conference is ranked and experienced in some form or way, and that the ASUN is actually really competitive. Some of these other teams may have scheduled very difficultly in non-conference play that may have drug down their analytics, but Coach said, make no mistake about it, this league is actually really well coached and has good players. We can see that here tonight, but also in the other ASUN semifinals with Lipscomb leading North Florida as well.
Yeah, and listen, this is
you get to this point in time, whoever's left playing is good.
Right.
And they're playing well.
Stetson with the basketball, down 8. You start to feel like every possession important for them.
Yeah, still a
now
lot of time.
they've hit a little bit of a lull offensively. One of their last 8 from the field. And the miss there from Rob Perry. He is yet to get on track. Now 0 of 6 from the field tonight. Elijah Cuffey has it. In the screen from Scotty James. Gets to the free throw line, pull up jumper, and it goes down.
Great shot by Cuff. Found that sweet spot right in there, 12 feet. Never hesitated.
So the Flames go up by 10. Largest lead of the night.
You just have seen the intensity turn up at the defensive end. There's the double. Good job by Jawar getting out of it. Stetson's been very patient.
Perry, the 3 ball off the mark. The loose rebound picked up by Aninye, and he draws the foul. Looked like McGee might be able to grab it. Instead, it bounces to Aninye, who will earn a couple of free throws. Flames leading it by 10 with 10:42 to go in the ballgame. Liberty leading Stetson by 10 with 10:42 to go. Hey, the Liberty Lady Flames are hosting an ASUN basketball corner final here at the Vine Center on Saturday against Kennesaw State. Tickets on sale now. Get yours at libertyflames.com/ASUN. Game time set for 4 o'clock Eastern. Take a look at that other ASUN Championship semifinal in action right now. Lipscomb hanging on to that lead against North Florida. The Ospreys starting to push a little bit, climb back into that one. That one you expect to go down to the wire. A couple of teams playing really, really well at this point of the year.
And this one is still very much in the balance.
Kenny Aninye to the strike. He was 7 of 7 from the free throw line against North Alabama a couple days ago. It's the first to fall here.
Yeah, and that's huge because, again, that's Stetson's 7th offensive rebound. And again, if your shots aren't falling or points are hard to come by, giving yourself more possessions by hustling and battling on the glass. So good job by Aninye.
Well, that doesn't distract you. I don't know what will, as Aninye avoids the massive man there and knocks down the free throw. He's got 7 tonight.
Yeah, he's got 7, and he's done a real nice job defensively.
Caleb Homesley has been the man tonight for Liberty. 18 points. Let's see if they can get it in number 1's hands.
So it looks like they got a little boxing runs
Cross-court
going.
pass. Darius McGee open. Couldn't connect on the 3, and it'll go out of bounds. Whoa. Is that Scotty James?
Yeah.
Shot it up and over the top of the backboard and through.
He was trying to save it, kind of, and he threw it up there. But Scott, you got to save those.
So Stetson gets a much-needed stop.
Yeah, they really do.
They need to string a few of those together here in the second half.
And they like a lot of these dribble exchanges till they see something they like, or till they get the ball in the hot hand.
Shot clock winding down. Jones working on Homesley. Now in some trouble. Patient. Draws the foul as Scotty James comes down with that right arm, and he lays it in.
Well, man, I just really felt like that's why I made one of the keys. Liberty had to guard the dribble. Christian Jones, I think that's when he's at his best, kind of creating off the bounce, and that time he does a really effective job getting deep in the paint, using his pivot foot to kind of go up and under.
Check in with Emily Austin once again. Emily?
Yeah, guys, I asked Donnie Jones about coaching so many freshmen, and he said you obviously have to have patience. The biggest thing is for them to simplify things. There's only so many things you can do to change in the flow of the game with them. It's got to be our effort, our energy, our toughness to make up for a lot of those things we can't change, and you can see that with these free throws and offensive rebounds that they're trying to stay in this game.
Yeah, those are the things that will win you a postseason game.
Yeah, and you can see the simplified game plan. I mean, they're running some offense, they're doing some dribble exchange, kind of probing, and then they're trying to build on one great shot each possession.
Caleb Homesley up to 20 points now. Most he's ever scored in an ASUN Championship game.
See, you can see, just patient, kind of probing.
Raleigh looking in the post. They give it to Jawar. Here comes the double team. Hangs in the air. It's out to Aninye. 6 on the shot clock. Every possession going late in the shot clock right now for Stetson. Jones in rhythm. 3 gets it to go down. That's a big one.
That was huge.
The junior out of South Carolina has 6 points, and they keep that Liberty lead at 5.
Yeah, nice recognition, because I think they were playing him to go off the dribble, and he just pulled one.
He whips it to the corner. George Pacheco going to launch it. He connects.
Big time answer by Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz.
First points of the ball game for the senior out of Puerto Rico. Back and forth, these offenses starting to go. Aninye gets it into the post. Double team coming, deflected, nearly taken away by Georgie. Instead, it'll stay with the Hatters.
Yeah, Jawara knew this. The skip pass option was to the corner. Georgie read it. Could only get a deflection, but
8 on the shot clock. Jones knocked down a triple a moment ago.
Yeah, he's had the hot hand.
He's sizing one up right now. Gonna put it on the deck. Drives right in to Caleb Homesley. And they get him for a block. I was screened, and yeah, they're gonna count the shot. Wow. A couple times we've seen Jones tonight use that off arm.
Yeah.
It looked like he may have done it again, but he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, Jones, and again, credit Stetson. They recognize who has the hot hand. Jones penetrated last time down. He hit a 3. This time he goes off the dribble again. Gets the finish and the foul.
So he goes to the line looking to convert the three-point play. And he gets the free throw. There's a look at that just a moment ago. Yeah, that's tough. So when you see that arm come up, it's an easy one for the officials. So Stetson with the break, see if they can take advantage. Trailing by just 5. Darius McGee catches, fires, bang! Flames starting to feel it.
Yeah, they have come alive from beyond the arc. You can see just that weight lifted off their shoulders, being able to play on top.
Liberty now 7 of 15 from three-point range. It's like Stetson, a completely different team from the first half.
It does, but Stetson is not going away.
No.
They are really committed and sticking to their game plan.
Kyle Road guarding Jones now, drives by him, throws it up, no, but a whistle, and he'll earn more free throws. Jones has been aggressive here in the last couple of minutes, and it's paying off. At the other end, Caleb Homesley with 20 for Liberty, and he's carrying this Flames offense. Liberty leads it by 8 with 7:29 to go. Flames leading by 7. Liberty Flames football are Cure Bowl champions. Head coach Hugh Freeze is ready to lead the Flames in 2020 against a tough schedule. Season tickets on sale now, starting at just $70. Get yours at libertyflames.com/tickets. The official came over a moment ago and said a 3 a little bit earlier, or a 2, the way they ruled a 2. They have changed to a 3. So the score now 48-41, Liberty on top. Meanwhile, Christian Jones heading to the line for a couple of free throws.
Yeah, Christian Jones has been the story these last few minutes. He has done it every which way. Off the dribble, pulled up for a 3, got himself to the free throw line.
Well, I asked Donnie Jones today, I said, are you really leaning on your veterans, the few that you have? And he said, well, you know, they haven't been here either.
Right.
You know, he goes, they may be older, but they haven't been in games like this either. You know, remember last year Stetson didn't even qualify for the ASUN Championship. They were the 9th place team. So this is all new territory for guys like, you know, Christian Jones, who's a junior. He gets both free throws to fall. He has 13 points now on the night. And they're hanging right there. That 5-point lead for Liberty is kind of where they've been stuck here, as Stetson has hung around.
With Mayo at the top of the key, they're content to have Jawara sag in the lane. They got a Ninye chasing Darius McGee all over.
Max Bell tries to score through him, can't do it. Jawara grabs the rebound. That 7'2" wingspan is a problem.
Yeah, Mayo gives up height and wingspan. So they get the stop.
Stetson trying to continue carving into this deficit. Jawara going through the lane, lost it, kicked it. And they'll say it went last off the Flames. 10 on the shot clock. 6:46 to go in the ball game.
Well, the game plan has been run some clock and then get it to Christian Jones.
Jawara hands off. Perry step back 3. That's off the mark. He continues to struggle. 0 of 8 now from the field. Remember, he scored just 6 points in this building a couple weeks ago. Darius McGee curling, free throw line, on the move, short, followed his own shot, nearly tipped it in. Here comes Stetson now, Jones with the basketball, as they set up the offense. By the way, tonight, we mentioned Caleb Homesley's big night. He has passed the great Matt Hildebrand on the all-time scoring list, Naz, which I know you saw a lot of those points from Hildo over the years.
One of the greatest. Getting passed by a guy who will join one of the greatest.
There's the offensive foul. Well, Jones had been close a couple of times.
Yeah.
That time, Pacheco able to slide in.
Yeah, Georgie jumped right in that path, took it square. Refs had no choice.
That is a big turnover, as down by just 5 with the ball. A chance to continue maybe putting a little pressure on Liberty here down the stretch.
Yeah, and adding another foul, they're an inch closer to,
that's right,
to Liberty making it to the bonus.
Liberty's shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Something that Stetson has enjoyed.
Yeah. McGee has it on the wing, looking for Homesley. They get it to him.
Good job by Jones to really push him out
and
wide.
There's the foul.
Yeah.
That will send Caleb Homesley to the line for 1 and 1.
And again, if you're Stetson, not a bad foul.
Yep.
To make Caleb Homesley go to the free throw line and earn it, rather than him back you down and score over top of you.
And Liberty fans will tell you the Flames have had some issues in the last couple weeks closing games at the free throw line. Now, we're a long way from calling this, close out free throws, but Liberty has been a bit inconsistent at the line really all year, much less the last couple of weeks.
They've made it interesting, to say the least.
Homesley gets the first. Liberty pulls all their players into the backcourt, set up the defense. And Homesley gets just 1 of 2. Check in on that other ASUN semifinal. North Florida has gone in front. Under 8 minutes to go in that one, as the Ospreys, that trailed most of the night, take the lead over Lipscomb. Well, Christian Jones has played quite the role here in the second half for the Hatters. He's got 13 points, 11 of those coming after halftime.
Yeah, and he's done it a different variety of ways. From 3, off the dribble. He's got himself fouled to get to the free throw line. He's also gotten 7 rebounds. He is just having a great second half.
He has done a great job. We mentioned Rob Perry averaging over 15 a game, scoreless tonight. 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 5 from three-point range. Every shot he takes, as it leaves his hand, you think this is the one.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been there tonight.
And again, he's got a lot of confidence as a player. I mean, he's scored all year. I mean, even as a freshman, third in the conference in scoring. So he's not going to be deferred with a few misses. But, yeah, you just kind of feel like at any time he's going to come alive. Christian Jones is certainly keeping him in it in the meantime.
Stetson basketball. Trailing by 6. Aninye with the rock. Waving off Jawara. Trying to get in the hands of Jones. Now put it on the deck. There Jones has it at right wing. Looking in the post. 8 on the shot clock. Aninye thought about the 3. Now trying to drive on Homesley. Stops. Kicks out Raleigh. 2 on the shot clock. He just realized it. Deep 3 on the way. No. The offensive rebound for Perry. Rebounding has been critical for the Hatters tonight.
It's their 8th offensive rebound by Stetson. That's just a killer.
Great feed to Jawara. Blocked from behind, but he's fouled. He's calling, saying count the basket. I don't think so. They'll send him to the line for a pair.
Yeah, the Stetson bench begging, please go take a look at it.
That was Elijah Cuffey whistled for the foul, number 3 on him. So again, you talk about a good foul on one end a little bit earlier. This is not a bad foul either. That was just an easy throwdown.
Yeah, that was going to be an easy dunk.
Jawara just 60% from the stripe on the season. That one bounced around and through. The 4-star recruit out of Massanutten Military Academy right here in Virginia. Put together a great freshman season. He's not ready for it to end just yet. Can't hit the second as Caleb Homesley gets the rebound. Homesley now with 8 boards to go along with his 21 points.
Yeah, good rebound by Caleb, but yeah, rebounding down the stretch here. He's not done a great job, so they need to clean that up. Their defense is good. They're getting good stops, good long defensive possessions, but it's got to end on a rebound.
Long 2 for Pacheco. No. Long rebound comes right to him, and they'll reset.
Well, Georgia giving Stetson a little taste of their own medicine on the offensive glass. Great hustle, great recognition by Georgie. Go follow his own shot.
Pacheco using the screen. Kicks it to the wing. Homesley. 3-ball. And it goes down. Caleb Homesley's having one of those nights.
He sure is. He loves coming off that screen.
24 for the senior out of Indian Trail, North Carolina. Stetson trailing by 8. They need an answer. They go inside to Jawara. A little out of control, nearly threw it away. Perry, 3-ball, and it rattles through. Rob Perry finally sees the ball go through the basket. And that was one they needed desperately.
Yeah, you knew it was just a matter of time. Perry did too. He's got to be feeling good seeing one go through.
Homesley now, off the window. The kiss off the window, and it goes through.
Yeah, you're seeing why this kid can just take it to another level.
Raleigh now driving, hangs and hits. Back and forth we go.
Little pressure from Stetson.
They cut it back to a 5-point Liberty lead. That poked away, but it will stay with Liberty when we come back. A reminder, this presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Foster Fuels, exceeding expectations since 1921. And by Carter Bank & Trust, proud of the past, focused on the future. Time now for our Church Mutual Insurance defensive play of the game. It came early in the second half. Elijah Cuffey with the steal and the layup, giving Liberty its first lead, 29-28. That's more than the defensive play of the game. That may be the turning point in the game. That got this crowd to another level. It got this offense energized as Liberty went in front, and they have stayed there basically since.
Yeah, it kind of really gave their defense the boost it needed. Like, working so hard, instant payoff, steal, run out. Big sigh of relief after that one. Liberty's kept the lead since, but Stetson, I'm telling you, they have done a great job tonight and are still in striking distance
Under 3 minutes to go. The winner advances on to the ASUN Championship final. 6 on the shot clock. Pacheco, free throw line. How many times has he done that in his career?
Big time by GPO.
100 career wins in a Flames uniform. He doesn't want to finish just yet. 7-point Liberty lead, nearly taken away by Homesley, but he's whistled for the foul. He had his mindset on rocking the rim at the other end. Instead, he gets whistled for the reach.
Yeah, and I think his arms were clean, but his body kind of banged into Jones. Yeah, he wanted to be off to the races.
So Jones back to the stripe. He's 4 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. Again, he has carried the offense here in the second half.
Yeah, he really has. And again, for a team that is not great from the free throw line, they have really done a nice job tonight.
In the first 2 meetings, Jones averaged 4.5 per ball game against the Flames. He's got 14 against them in this ASUN semifinal. Make it 15. And here comes some of that pressure we talked about, Nas.
Yeah, and it's so much easier when that's a part of your repertoire anyway, and it sure is with Stetson. You know exactly, they play a lot of full court all the time.
Flames, as they often do, slowing things down offensively. Pacheco nearly lost it, got it back. 10 on the shot clock. Caleb Homesley, same situation. Regathers, step back 3 coming off the mark. And here comes Raleigh. Kicks it to an Inye. Perry now. Spinning past McGee. Off the window. Soft touch for the freshman.
Stetson just keeps coming.
These freshmen have been fearless tonight. They trail by just 3. This pro-Liberty crowd trying to get their team back into it. Pacheco mid-range J, no. Scotty James, the offensive board, goes around Jawara and lays it in.
Yeah, Scott, he was not going to pass that for 1 second. He pulled it down, gathered himself, big-time finish.
This bunch of seniors for Liberty, they've been through the battles, and they are proving to be up for the task tonight.
They are breathing fire right now, and they're going to need to be on the defensive end.
Timeout on the floor. A moment ago, a big bucket from Rob Perry. He's gotten a couple of fall here in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, nice spin move. The help a little bit late. Nice touch high off the glass by Rob Perry.
Then at the other end, Scotty James has gotten offensive rebounds like a fiend his entire career. He does so again there, and as you said, there was no thought to kicking back out, resetting the offense. He wanted to take it right back up and did.
Wow, what a game, Matt. This is everything you expect in a conference semifinal with a bid to the conference championship on the line.
Yeah,
both teams have really brought it. It's been a great set. I mean, the first half had its own kind of feel.
Yeah.
It was a grind. This second half has been scoring. It's been exciting.
Liberty trying to get to its 3rd straight conference championship game. 2 years ago in the Big South, they lost on a buzzer beater to Radford. Last season, they won late on the road at Lipscomb. They're trying to get back to that championship game once again. There you take a look at some of that tournament success for the Flames.
Yeah, and they want more. You can see it. They're fired up. They need to get some stops. And again, I just am so impressed. Well, I'll just say with the youngsters, but this whole Stetson team, they have come in with a very solid game plan. Like Coach Jones said, a simplified game plan, and they've executed it very well.
Perry, quick 3, and it goes down. There's that set shot. He gets it off.
Yeah,
8 points now. It is a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's going to pass it, and then all of a sudden, that's his shooting motion.
These youngsters saying, we don't care about the great story in Liberty and all they've done in the past few years and all the experience.
Yeah, they want to play spoiler.
They're trying to end it. Tough catch for Pacheco in the corner. 7 on the shot clock. Drives, pump fake, goes up, contested, and he draws the foul. 44 seconds left, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Great patience, great body control.
Raleigh just a little too aggressive there. Got him on the arm.
And again, Georgie drew him into that. Couple pump fakes. Great patience, didn't panic.
So Pacheco goes to the line, a 90% free throw shooter on the year. Liberty's best from the stripe. He's got a couple as the Vine Center falls quiet. And he hits the first. This is a big one coming, make it a 2-possession ball game.
Well, Stetson, you got time. You don't have to panic and shoot up a crazy shot. You've got time to get a good one.
And he got them both.
And Liberty, you just got to play great defense, contest everything hard, and don't foul.
And then Ye brings it across the timeline. Under 40 ticks to go. Jones with it, top of the key, gonna drive. Bodies hit the floor, offensive foul! Caleb Homesley, the offensive star, gets it done on the defensive end when it matters most.
That was huge. Caleb really hustled himself back, moved those feet. And that we saw Christian Jones's arms getting a little bit out away from him on some other possessions. You see it right there. He does push with the elbow. Good call. And a great play by Caleb Homesley on the defensive end. Now, you can't sit back and enjoy it.
Right.
You got to get your mind focused.
Pacheco handles it. You want him holding on to that basketball.
He's got to watch his backside here with the Ninye coming up from the end.
They burned quite a bit of clock there, about 9 seconds before the foul was committed, and you keep it right in the hands of the guy you want holding the basketball in these situations. You just knocked down a couple a moment ago, and they'll get a chance to do it again.
Well, even if he makes them, it's still a 2-possession game. So if you're Stetson, again, you can't waste too much time. You got to get a quick one. It could be a 3, could be a 2.
First one goes. Georgie Pacheco, 8 points, all of them coming in the second half.
Well, you certainly got to get out on Perry for 3. And then Christian Jones, you just got to be ready to go. You just got to be ready to go contest a 3 or defend him off the dribble.
6-point lead for Liberty. Raleigh going to take a quick timeout. Donnie Jones wants to set something up. This Vine Center crowd can taste it. 21.9 seconds away from moving on to the ASUN Championship final. Liberty leading it by 6. Rob Perry has been trying to keep his team in this thing, and he's done the job here in the second half. 8 points, all of them coming not just in the second half, but late in the second.
Yeah, too good a player to keep down all night. He got himself going with a 3, made a nice spin move, got himself fouled and a finish, and then hit another 3 right in front of us here just a few possessions ago.
And how about this? They're knotted up. Lipscomb in North Florida with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, throw the seeding numbers out the way. You got your last 4 teams fighting for all they have.
Told North Florida just got a bucket to go up by a pair.
Everybody just laying.
This is the madness, man.
This is what you love.
This is the madness of March.
March college basketball.
Raleigh trying to get that quick 2. Off the window, good with 16.4 left.
Yeah, smart move.
Pacheco going to inbound it, looking for help. Couldn't find anybody, so he takes a timeout.
Yeah, nice job by Stetson. They got a quick basket. Attacking by Raleigh, knowing that Liberty's not going to foul. And then they did a real nice job jumping into the full court pressure right away. Yeah, they had a wide lane, cleared everybody out so Raleigh could go one-on-one.
The other thing about the Nads, and we've seen Liberty quite a bit, have Georgie Pacheco inbounding because you trust him to make the wise decision, but you also trust him most at the free throw line.
Yeah, so what they love to do is have Georgie bring it in, step in real quick, and get it right back before a defender can switch over to him.
4-point ball game, 16.4 seconds remaining. Well, listen, if you watch that first half, this seems like a completely different universe.
That's right.
These offenses finding their rhythm.
We were in the bizarro world there in the first half. But what a great game. And listen, both teams did a great adjustment at halftime and kind of got themselves right. They came out here. Both teams were firing. Different guys have stepped up. Homesley, oh my goodness. What a... Uh-oh.
And we are told a final. Lipscomb has knocked off North Florida. So the Bisons move on.
The Bisons, led by ASUN Championship.
Last check, he had 27 and 19 tonight.
There is nothing easy at this time of year. You're in March. There's conference tournaments being played. You've got to go out and take it. Nobody's going to give it to you.
Unbelievable. Back to action here, 16.4 remaining. The Flames running their 4-wide set. They inbound to Pacheco, able to run a couple of seconds off.
Yeah.
You saw them do this in their last game. It's almost like your spread football offense. Split two on either side, run a route and get open, and the Flames had success with it.
I wonder if they consulted Coach Freeze on that one.
They've
had some really good success with it because the defenders have to take off long. That time Darius McGee came back. I would have liked to have seen Georgie take off, dribble a little more. I think he could have run out a little more of the clock.
I think he was almost surprised that he had the space he did. Goes to the line.
Yeah, he was so wide open. Well, same situation now. If you're Liberty, get back, play defense, don't foul, try to contest hard. And if you're Stetson, you got to get a quick shot. You can go all the way for... You can go off the dribble if you need to. You can pull a three.
Pacheco has been clutch, 6 of 6 from the stripe. Raleigh with it.
Your best shot.
Driving off the window, he does it again. So they're keeping that pressure on. Pacheco looking to inbound, gets it to Homesley, right back to Georgie. And they foul him with 6.4 remaining. Stetson running out of time quickly.
Yeah, running out of time, kind of running out of options.
Maybe needed a 3 on that possession.
Yeah, maybe a 3. Just Liberty's so good at, you've got guys out here that can burn clock, that can get themselves to the free throw line. Late game, it's just hard to trap them and make them turn. One of the lowest in the country in turnovers. So Liberty very confident with the basketball.
Pacheco gets it to go. Andrew Fleming, we're told, got the winning bucket with 4 seconds left for Lipscomb. As Liberty and Lipscomb, they're saying, let's run it back.
Yeah.
We met in the title game a year ago. Let's do it again. Second one for Georgie goes down.
And Georgie's just been money right there. Yeah, no fouls at all now.
Raleigh needs to pull up. He doesn't.
Let him go.
In. That's just fine. 6:10 left. Not much they can do at this point. They inbound it, and that's all. Liberty, for the 3rd straight season, will advance to the ASUN Championship game.
Man, I'm going to say a tip of the hat to the Hatters.
Absolutely.
They did a great job, great game plan. But Matt, those seniors on this Liberty squad were not going to be denied. They would not get them down on themselves. They did not lose confidence. They fought exactly what you want to see out of your leaders.
The future is bright for Stetson, but today belonged to the Flames and this veteran group.
Man, their backs were against the wall. And Matt, we've said this before, they're in uncharted territory. They're not used to playing down. They never lost confidence.
Richie McKay just went over to the fans, pumping his fist like Tiger Woods, about as emotional as you'll see him. He has said all along, this crowd can change the game. It did tonight early in the second half as Liberty got out of the funk they were in and found a way to come back and get the win. And so with that victory, Liberty moves on to the ASUN Championship final Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Liberty and Lipscomb, 3 p.m. Eastern. It should be a great one, Naz.
Oh,
the history those two have in the short time Liberty has been in the ASUN, I expect nothing less than an absolute war.
I'm still reveling in this one. I mean, what a great game. I mean, everything you wanted in the semifinal. We had great defense. The refs kind of let them play and bang. Liberty had their backs against the wall. What a great performance. Caleb Homesley, he showed everybody why he was the player of the year.
For Paul Naskin and Emily Austin, I'm Matt Warner saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia, where the final score is 66-62 Liberty. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.